And then he, as he's crying, going up, and you see that disregard that he's already starting to give to the humans.
Yeah, to go back again with the idea, the correlation of a song, that's exactly what I'm talking about, that you do something that ramps it, that you give him a moment so that he is transcending past it, and we see his grief. Now, is this the moment where we see him tracing along the poster? Do we get that in this minute? I think that's a beautiful moment. That is a director and a writer 100% understanding that visually you can tell me what that character's feeling without saying it. And if you had built to that, if you had simply had a transitionary why he left, how he left, and got there, that his glycerin tear shining on his face, all of that would have built to the quietness of touching that.
So there's they also modified a couple things about this from the script. I just want to note, I love when Roddy comes up the stairs. He's kind of slightly crying, and he has the camera catches him to this thing where he turns his head because he's noticed something, and as he looks over, and then when he gets to the outside of the storefront where the poster's attached, you see him kind of turn his head even more like he's reading it. Mm-hmm. Also notice that Roddy is actually walking upright this entire time. He is making no pretense that he's not a upright ape. An
intelligent ape, yeah.
Right, he's walking up. So one of the choices they made, the script has Caesar broken-hearted trudges aimlessly along the deserted street, which is not deserted. There's pedestrians behind him, right? People walking around. He glances up and realizes he is in front of the closed bookshop, which he and Armando visited on the first day in the city. His then eye strays to a trash container near the curb, something familiar sticking out of it. Caesar extracts one of the handouts and looks down at it. That was supposed to be it. He's supposed to come back to the place that where they first kind of came into the city, into the bookshop, where he first met Lisa. For whatever reason, I went back and kind of compared the two moments, the two scenes. For some reason, they decided to make this a toy shop and not the bookstore. And instead of having the flyer discovered in the trash, the flyer was discovered as posted on this toy shop window.
Right.
My first thought, because I didn't connect they were two different locations, was like, oh, how nice of that saucy bookkeeper to go ahead and put that poster up in the window, even though it sounded like she dismissively wasn't going to.
Right.
But then I realized these were two different locations. And I love that we didn't have to spend time fishing through the trash to look at a poster. That kind of pick it up and look at it, and then get the shot of it looking at it so we all know what it is.
Right.
I did appreciate that it was already upright and he could react to that without having to move around too much. It was a very simple way. I don't know why this wasn't the bookstore. I kind of wish it had been the bookstore.
Well, and I appreciate the idea of the bookstore, but the idea in that sequence that we had is that they obviously were hitting numerous stores, and so the idea that even anybody put it up, I think, like you, I love the idea that poster is there. Somebody put it in the window. We don't need to waste the time of him just very Dickensianly like picking up a piece of paper that just happens to be their poster.
The trash that he happens to need, yeah.
And instead, we get the truth that he's grieving, that he goes out there and
nobody even knows Armando's dead. They think the circus is still going on. Right. They have no idea.
There are so many things about this that are so right. It's just, again, you think about the tracing of the finger along the poster. You think about the grief in Roddy's face. Even Richard pointing out once again his use of body posture. That's an actor and probably a director being very smart about these are the moments when Caesar would be erect. And God, that sounds awful.
Hey,
Lisa.
That's right, Lisa. His body posture saying something about the character. I had noticed him going from standing up straight to being more simian, but I'd not thought about that it being a cognizant idea of I'm going to say at this point I am more human, this point I'm more simian. I'd really not thought about that. So they're making really smart choices, but I just think that again is pushing people to be too fast leads to these moments where they miss the opportunities that would take this from a really good film to a great film.
I will agree with you guys on the Lisa and the cut, but once we get past the cut and we get into the 40 seconds of Roddy walking the sidewalk and seeing the sign and tracing his finger along the sign and tears in his eyes as he kind of looks around a little. It just breaks my heart. I mean,
I agree.
He's amazing.
We're on the same page there, Richard. I'm noting the things that would have made this scene even better. I think that Roddy is just fantastic. The other night, my wife was watching Cleopatra on TV, with all this COVID stuff. She's just watching the old garbage movies. And she said, oh, my God. And she starts talking, and there's a very, youngish-looking Roddy in that. And she's like, he's a really good actor. And I was like, well, no shit. The dude made all these movies, all this crap on his face, and was magnificent. He carries this movie. Time and time again, he is the soul. I'm glad we had Armando, but Roddy,
Armando's barely in the movie. Yeah,
I mean, his ability to emote, to give us these feelings, it's huge.
It's like they said
that landed
last
like a
movie.
turd.
What?
Nothing. It was just the funny thing with Zoom is how we all try to be respectful and not talk over each other. So I made that point, and it was just kind of like bloop.
Well, I mean, yeah. Do you think they said to Ricardo Montalban, all right, I know you didn't have much time in the last movie, but we promise you're going to have a lot of time in this movie. Oh, wait, shit. Halfway through, he's done.
Wait.
I mean,
I think if I read this correctly, I think I die within the first 30 minutes.
Here's a question. Who hasn't died?
Wait. When did you become the Eugenics guy? The Nathan X guy.
I am never said I was good with my dialects, ass monkey. All right. Now that we've had jovial jest about accent time, does anybody have anything else?
We're all starting to wake up, yes.
Richard, have you got anything else?
No, I mean, this minute's kind of a quiet minute. There's a lot more to talk about later on in the week for sure.
All right. Then we'll leave it there, and we'll be back tomorrow with another minute. Maybe tomorrow Richard will do the accents for the minute. Does that sound like a fair thing to do, Richard?
No.
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 Thanks. All right, everyone. Everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
The minute of the apes. The minute